Now, for more than 10 years, Richard Reynolds has been getting together with other dog breeders to hunt rats in the darkest alleyways of New York. Their unorthodox method of rat catching is not officially sanctioned by the city's authorities, and it's also brought them into conflict with animal rights campaigners. Matt Nelson joined Richard and his friends to find the rats' favourite hideaways in Manhattan. And just to warn you, the descriptions are gruesome.
Watch him moving the trash to get to the rat. Rats run over the same route every night. They don't vary an inch. It's almost like there was a little wire down there, and they run along that little invisible wire. So after a while, we know where the rats are going to try to escape from. So we cut off the known escape route. Going your way. The short-legged dogs go into the trash to push the rats out. And if you've got a rat that's slow or cornered or whatever, the short-legged dog will get it. But he's more apt to bolt the rat, just like he'd bolt a fox. It went that way to the longer-legged terriers that essentially play the backfield. And they're held off about 30 feet from wherever we're hunting, and they'll pick up rats on the fly, and they're fast enough to catch a rat running.
Richard Reynolds describing the best way to hunt for rats in New York. Richard is part of a group known as the Ryders Alley Trencher Society, or R.A.T.S for short. That name came about because Ryders Alley is a famously rat-infested alleyway in lower Manhattan. And trencher fed refers to a 19th century term for a wooden bowl used to feed hunting hounds. The group has been patrolling the city's winding alleyways for almost 10 years now. They first started hunting together in New Jersey's Liberty State Park, but as Richard explains, the original aim was as much about finding a humane way to kill rats as controlling their spiralling population.
We were at a dog show a million years ago in New Jersey, and we saw a whole bunch of rats, and we said, gee, we can do something to help this situation if we can get permission to hunt in this state park. And at the time, they were poisoning rats, and the problem with poison is that the rats take 3 weeks to ingest enough poison to come out and bleed to death in front of the tourists. Not good for business. The dogs work when the park is closed. They'll kill a rat in 2 or 3 seconds. And as soon as the park management saw how efficient the dogs were, we had a job. So we got together and we just kind of started, the people who had terriers, we work them on all kinds of things, and this is just one of our outlets for the terrier's instincts.
These days, the group focus their energies on New York's downtown Manhattan area, where an abundance of bars, restaurants and hotels make for plentiful supplies of trash. That's ideal feeding grounds for rats. Conditions like these have seen the city's rat population thrive, and although no one knows exactly how many rodents there are in New York, it's often estimated that there's one for every single person. And, as I found out when I joined Richard on one of his hunts, you find rats in some pretty unexpected places.
Richard, where are we going? What's happening?
We're going to Theater Alley, which is right around the corner, and it's used to be in colonial times a row of theaters here. And George Washington used to walk through here to get to the theater.
So, why do you do it, Richard? I mean, it does seem like kind of a perverse way to spend your Friday night when a lot of people are snuggled up on the couch watching TV or having a glass of wine. You're out hunting rodents.
It's not about, well, it is about hunting. It's about being with the dog and sharing the partnership with the dog. And when you have a good dog that is your hunting partner, there's nothing more rewarding than you're calling the dog calling you, and you're both out working.
Is part of it the thrill of the chase, though? And it must be quite exciting.
Oh, all of it is the thrill of the chase. There's an adrenaline content, and you'll see it later.
What we're doing now is smashing a kind of grating, trying to flush the rats out for the dogs to kill. What about the rats themselves? Are they dangerous? I mean, do they fight back? Do they attack the dogs? Or have you, in fact, yourself ever been attacked by a rat?
Well, I've been attacked by a rat.
Tell me about that.
I went to scout an area, and the rats had no people fear whatsoever. And I was trying to take a close-up picture of a rat, and it actually attacked me. Rats will, a 1-pound rat will take on a 250-pound human, or try to.
When the rat attacked you, just out of interest, what did it go for? Did it go for your face or your hand?
Well, they're down on the ground. They go for your feet, and they will run up your pant leg. Which is why we tease people who come out with us and put duct tape around their pant leg, because when this rat's chased by a terrier, you never know where it's going to go.
Wow. What happened there? That rat seemed to explode.
It certainly did. Oh my God, that was disgusting.
Yeah. He exploded him.
Now that worked just about the way it was supposed to. The short-legged dog told us where the rat was and basically forced the rat out, and the longer-legged dog caught it on the fly. But no, that's a little gorier than we'd like to have it.
While rats may not be the most popular of animals, the act of hunting them down with dogs has attracted criticism. The charity People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals has condemned rat hunting, calling it a twisted blood sport masquerading as rodent control.
I agree with them. I agree with all our critics. They have a point of view, but you have to look at reality in determining the credibility that you give to that point of view. The things that people do to rats, I can't live with. We've invented the sticky trap, which the rat sticks on for days. It dies without food, it dies without water, it can't free itself. We go to poison. The poison takes 3 weeks to work. That is not kind. So they're entitled to their point of view. From my point of view, if you offer me a choice between those 3 ways to go, I'll take the dog, thank you.
I think that the point still stands, though, that if you're not really taking down the rat population significantly, that people will say, that this is a spectacle, this is quite a violent spectacle.
The point is, we're not out here for the prime purpose of reducing the rat population, because we can't. We're out here to put the dogs to the purpose that they were intended to. We're out there to perfect the breed characteristics that they would lose if they weren't worked. It's all about the dogs. It's not about the rats.
And how about the New York City authorities? Where do they stand? I mean, you're almost like a kind of like vigilante group of rat hunters. Are they okay with you roaming the streets and killing rats?
We have no formal relationship with anybody, but we seem to have the support of almost everybody.
Good boy, come on, hurry up and kill it.
How's that?
Bite
You look
you.
like you were praying to God.
Good boy.
And how about yourself, Richard? How do you feel about rats? I mean, you spend a lot of your time hunting and killing them. One might think that maybe you dislike rats for some reason.
I love rats. I think they're intelligent. I think they're clean. If you're a good hunter, you have a great deal of respect and admiration for your quarry, no matter what it is.
Richard Reynolds sending that report from Matt Nelson in New York.